Namaste and welcome to Om Incense Podcast, the space where scents meet stories. Today's episode is deeply special. We're traveling all the way to an ashram in Chennai where we meet David, a pharmacist from Spain who followed his heart into the world of incense. His brand, Prema Nature, stands for clean, intentional incense crafted with love and purpose. If you've ever lit a stick of incense, and felt something shift in your soul, this one's for you. Today is a very special episode because we
Yeah,
have
sure.
David here from Prema Nature, and he's a pharmacist and he's come all the way from Europe. He lives in a nice ashram in Chennai and he likes to make clean incenses. We know his brand as Prema Incense, Prema Nature. Okay, so today we are going we are with David here and we'll be talking to him. So, namaste, David, and welcome to the episode. So, tell us something about yourself and how did you come to India and this ashram and all these things. And also tell us something about your background, so where you're
Namaste.
from and
Nice to meet you.
all those things.
Yeah. Okay. I've been born in Europe, in Belgium, and I was always little interested in making herbal mixtures from a young age. So when I had to decide what to study, I chose to study pharmacy in Belgium, and also I started a PhD. But during the time when I had to choose for my career, I wanted to take a year off, like free, just to travel the world, see what's going on. And so I decided to visit India.
Okay.
And my trip to India changed me actually in a way that my vision on life changed. So I was more focused on doing something good rather than just following the crowd, going for the next career step. And that's how I landed up in India, actually. And being in India, I was just volunteering, helping children with English. Also, we did environmental awareness classes, gardening activities. All this thing was happening, but I never used my pharmacy skill until there was a friend, it's a girl from Nepal, who was doing incense, natural incense as a hobby. And she asked me, can you help me? I don't get a good smell out of it because it was cow dung based. So it's difficult to get a good smell sometimes. But as I was always so
Yeah.
actively involved with the children, I didn't have time until Corona, because that time the children had to leave. They couldn't stay, they had to go home, they had to study from their house. And I was stuck. I couldn't go back to Europe. So I thought like I will help her. And then I
Yeah.
just daily
Yeah.
reading books, checking online. But the thing is, there's no course
Ah,
about making
exactly.
incense, not that I knew of
Yeah.
at least. If I ask people in the business, they don't want to share, you know. It's very secretive, their formulas. So I had to basically figure
Really?
it out from
Wow.
scratch, from zero. And yeah, daily for 1 year I was doing that. Just mixing. Yeah, I was enjoying myself actually.
Okay.
But because I did it from scratch, actually I think I did it in a different way than the typical way. So that made our
Yeah.
incense stand out, you know. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but for surely it's different. So that's a good thing if you ask me. And yeah, you know, I was not really into incense, but while
Mhm.
researching, I really discovered a lot the joy about making
So
it and
that's how you were
also
finally
why
able
to
to help
use it,
that
how
friend
to
of yours
use
from
it,
Nepal.
and about the culture of India also. Yeah. Yeah. Finally, my idea was I just make one good one. But then while doing, you know, you stumble upon some mixtures which work well. So finally I had seven. And then when I wanted to stop, she couldn't continue anymore. It was not really a business, a small like partnership thing company, but she couldn't run it because she had obligations at home. And then I slowly engaged more and more just for a few months, she said. Then it was just for
Yeah,
half a
now it's like
year.
completely
So,
in your
and
hands,
then
right?
it
So
continued
now
and it
she is no
grew.
longer
And
around, right?
finally, I'm kind of fully involved now. Yeah. No, she's actually teacher in Bangalore now.
Yeah, yeah,
She's happy with the state of it, but yeah, she couldn't stay there. I mean, there's some personal stuff.
uh-huh,
I don't want to go into
right,
that, but I mean, we are good friends and she's happy it goes well, but she couldn't involve anymore into the
yeah,
project. But I mean, that's how I got in, and I mean, it's a good thing for me because I use my
okay,
skills. I always like to do something natural, but if you study pharmacy in Europe, it's all chemical based. You don't get much about herbal medicine or any
mm-hmm,
alternative knowledge. You don't get much. So I
right,
was thinking always that's a negative point because there are so many herbal mixtures which are really good, but I don't know anything about it. But to study another 5 years
yeah,
just for that,
yeah,
I didn't feel to do it. But now I'm
yeah,
in a kind of a therapeutic
yeah,
thing also.
nice.
It's incense is also a therapy, it's aromatherapy. And so my whole thing is natural, you know. I mean, I feel for me, it makes me feel good to do something natural. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's the only negative thing. India, because as a child, we used to travel a lot with my parents and have a sister. So we traveled all over the place every summer holiday. So I was kind of okay with foreign cultures already. And then when I had to choose where to go, like for my sabbatical, I thought India because of their rich culture, really. That's the thing. And I wanted to help. So it's a developing country, but with a rich culture. So I can
Yeah, I think
help
you already
maybe
had that
in a
spiritual bent of
physical
mind.
way, but in a more
Yeah.
spiritual, uh, like character development way, India could help me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I when I grew up, I didn't have any interest in that, like almost zero. But when I was studying and all, I started to realize it's important to really not control your mind, but at least, I mean, your mind should work with you when you want to do something. And I had some really difficult moments in my study. It's very hard studying pharmacy in
Okay.
Belgium. So there were some really difficult moments, and I felt I didn't have the tools to control my mind properly.
Yeah.
And that's
Nice.
what I got
So,
to
why did you think
appreciate
of
all
this?
this
The
spirituality because
brand
of the
name Prema
mind,
Nature, was it thought by that friend of yours, or was it
positivity,
like
all these
a
things.
joint thing for you guys? How did you come up with this name? Because Prema means love, right? And how does that translate to your incense?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
So that was a kind of a joint thing. I remember discussing it with
mhm.
her. Um, Prema, yeah, it's like love, basically love for nature, love for the people using the incense because it's a clean product,
Mhm.
and love for the people making the incense. So we work with women, rural women from the villages. We give them fair wages, a very nice environment to work with. So
Yeah.
it's all about respect, love, and then nature, of course, to show that we are a natural brand.
The women are happy, and you are like, it doesn't feel like you are like it's like, it doesn't seem like you're something different from them. It's like you're one of them, right? It comes out really nice. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. They call me brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. They don't call me like sir or boss like that. As long as the work goes and I mean, it's a respect thing. It's not a fear thing. Yeah.
and yet it is, because it is a commercial product, so it has to have some kind of commercial traits, like the fragrance has to be there. The fragrance has to have aspects like diffusion and retention and that pleasantness. It has to have that thing, right? It has to induce pleasure because it's an incense. So how do you manage all of this thing in a formula? And firstly, before that, I just really want to know, I mean, how did you think of all of this and come to, get the formula right,
Yeah,
right? Because
so
like you said, you tried for quite a few years, right? I think for one whole year you kept making. So how is it that you finalized on these formula, and what was the whole philosophy behind that?
1 year, yeah. Yeah, so first we have to figure out what gives fragrance. If you don't work with any synthetic oils,
Right.
then you have to find
Yeah.
alternatives.
Yeah.
The whole business is set up
Right.
around this chemical usage, basically DEP, DPG, of phthalates. Phthalates, they really are good in diffusion, but there's a very negative light in the media in Europe especially because they mess up your hormone system. They accumulate in your body, they mess up your hormones. There are
Right.
studies about it, lots of studies. So, and the choice is so many, you will know how many incenses are there. So, if I'm going to make another chemical incense, how am I going to stand out? I mean, very difficult. So, there's no option to go to make another chemical incense.
Yeah,
So, the
exactly.
only way for me was the natural. And then you have to find that out because there's no book about it. So we use basically resins. We have different type of resins. It's all natural. So it's a good base already. And then our philosophy is also the
Right.
Vedic way. So
Right.
when
Right.
people
Right.
in the Vedic culture they burn something, it also releases
Mhm.
energy. Like think of the homams, the yagams. They offer herbs, they offer cow dung, honey, camphor, ghee, all these things. They are offered because when they are burnt, they release that energy. So that was for me important that I use ingredients that release energy. The basis of incense actually is not smell, it's energy. You can
Yeah,
find it all over
exactly.
the world. People were using
Right, right.
incense in a ritual way, not to just get a feel good way, at the tribal people. So it's all about energy. So that's another thing. And then, of course, to get the smell, we use
Hmm.
essential oils. And if you go into that, then you see why the price difference is there. If I buy a synthetic lavender oil, you can get it under 1,000 rupees per liter. If you buy a natural lavender oil, it'll cost you around 70 euros or more. So that's almost 7 times the price, you see. And then you have to find which oils you can use and which quality of oils you can use. Because if you use
Right.
first grade, that's maybe too expensive for just to burn it.
Yeah.
It's good for massage or therapy or maybe some other type of even
Right.
taking it orally, but to put it in an incense, it's too expensive. So then you can go for second grade quality, also
Right.
natural, but it's just not that much distilled. There's a
Yeah,
technical things in
exactly.
this distillation. So, and then finding the people who are
Hmm.
trustworthy in India, it's not so easy. In Europe, it's more regulated. In India, it's little more free. It has benefits. You feel not so restricted always. But if you
Right,
go for
right.
some natural product, you want to be sure about it. It's not easy to find people who are genuinely
Uh,
doing something
that would
good.
have been difficult.
So that also took me more than half a year to find suppliers
With
in the
these,
beginning.
the same kind of oils that you are
Yeah,
currently using in the formulation?
yeah. That also
Okay.
evolved,
Yeah, 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 of
For
course.
example, I was trying to make an incense based on halmadi.
Oh,
You know halmadi? I struggled with that, I think, 1.5 year or maybe 2 years, just to get that in
yeah,
a
I know.
formula.
Almadi
I
is a
asked
very
many
closely
people,
guarded
but
secret. Yeah,
they
true.
tell A but not B,
I
They
know.
tell something.
Yeah. Ha, ha, ha.
They don't say the whole
Right,
picture.
right.
They just say a little bit to make you, okay, he told something, but not so that you can do it
Hmm,
actually.
hmm.
So with the girl, like there was one girl which was working with me from the beginning. Her name is Gokila, and she's very smart. She's really into research because we
Okay.
started together in the
Nice.
beginning. So she's really good, and together with her, actually,
Yeah.
I'm doing all the research. So it's also a rural village girl, but yeah, I mean, it's good. It's going. We managed.
Quickly, because they know the language
Very
and they know the culture of the place, they know the mentality of the people, so they know exactly
exactly.
how to get things out, right? So that's there, right, right. Because she's born and brought up in that environment, so she's well used to it, no? So she knows her way out there, right?
Exactly. And trying,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But research, it requires a lot of patience. You have to do
Hmm.
it again and again
Right,
and
right,
again, and then you have a result. You think it's okay, then you're going to scale it, it collapses again. So then
right.
again, you have to go through the thing. But it's a whole journey, and I'm happy. It's like my passion, actually. If you ask me, the thing I do
So how do you
most enjoyably, it's the research aspect more than ever. Yeah.
consistent with the quality, with the kind of fragrance that it gives, then how is this whole thing, what is the challenge involved and how do you go about it?
Yeah. So as a
Right,
pharmacist, my mind is trained in a way of quality. My whole study was based on quality. So that somehow is a handicap, but I can use it now in a good way. So I trained these girls we do quality checks on
right,
all raw
right, right.
materials when they come. I have a whole SOP, it's called. So standard operating procedures for everything. And then like
Yeah.
my suppliers also, they know I'm a pharmacist, so they are also
Haha.
more aware about delivering more good quality. But then the final thing was that we actually went for Ecocert. So it's a label. They come do audits in the company. They check whether you use
Right.
natural ingredients and batch tracing so that you record everything from the beginning till the end. They come do audits. So
Yeah.
and when I started to do that, it went to the next level. Also for these rural women, they never heard about the word batch. So just to explain that, it took me some time and then filling in the paperwork
Yeah.
correctly. It's a whole thing. And also, I don't know, I know Tamil, but I'm not a native speaker. And I'm not born here.
Right,
So
right,
that's another challenge
right.
to make them understand certain things. But for me, that's the real joy, actually,
So when
to
you're sourcing the
empower
ingredients,
these
do you
women
just
and
get
make
them all
them
locally, or do you have to get
to
something
develop
from
their
outside of
their
India or
knowledge.
probably outside of Chennai, or how exactly do you go about it?
Yeah, like we are not that big yet that we can import things like,
Yeah.
let's say we need bamboo sticks. I'm not that big that I can source them directly from China or Vietnam or something like this. So we use dealers in India for the essential oils. We can
Okay.
import them from Europe
Right, right.
sometimes because the quality is more
Yeah.
controlled,
For
let's say like
commercial
that.
things will be there. Right.
But it's always a balance between the cost of the product and then the cost of the material.
So how many, and I keep saying that you keep introducing new products, right? So I saw that you have vibhuti, you have kumkum, and you have some household products. So how did you steer yourself from incense towards these home care products? Because then you would have to bring more more resources, and you would have to source these things more, and it would be more of a challenge for you. So how did you think about going that way again from the incense? Okay.
So we are going along with the demand actually. So if we have customers that come to us and they say, do you have this product or that product? And we
Right,
get a
right.
few demands that just repeat themselves, then it's worth developing that product. So in
Hmm.
instances, Like, we are natural incense. Like
Commercial.
you have
Acha,
Fool
okay.
also. They
Right.
they say they have natural incense. They don't go in the spiritual way. They go more in the, ecological way. Yeah, ecology. But we go really the spiritual side. Like we have all the spiritual items like ghee wicks, vibhuti, kumkum, panchagavya lamps, sambrani.
Right, right.
So we want to go for the people who are spiritual, who want to use incense for a spiritual purpose as a tool to use in their sadhanas, in their spiritual practices.
Or incense, and that is one of the things that really fascinated me. So why did you think of tirtham? And because you could have just used normal water or probably rose water or anything. So why did because is it because of the spiritual thing that you said?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, incense to me, it's really about
Right,
vibration more so than the smell. Smell also has a good effect on
right.
your mental state. For example, if you use lavender, it will give you peace. If you use lemon, it will focus your mind. So that's also documented. But the vibration aspect, I never saw really a brand promoting that. It's more a little vague.
Yeah, true.
So I
I've never
thought,
heard of
no,
anyone either.
why can't we really do something different? And I don't think any brand is using Tirtam. So people who appreciate it, I mean, for me, definitely, I heard many stories of customers who told me like some miracles happened after they used our incense and all. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's
So
coincidence, but in a way, I don't believe too much in coincidence. So I feel good about it, let's say. So Tirtham comes from nearby Shiva temple. We are going to release a video about that soon. We made a small documentary about that. We are going to release that one.
yeah. Okay, now so now tell me something. How did you finalize the packaging? So the packaging material in itself is a big thing. So when you were thinking of packaging, you also must have thought of eco-friendly products and stuff. So how did you go about it, and where do you source it from and stuff? Mhm.
So yeah, packaging, if you want to preserve a fragrance, almost all brands they
Yeah,
use
yeah,
plastic. Even
yeah.
the natural brands, the packaging is all natural, but then when you open it,
Mhm.
it's a plastic pouch, usually. So
Okay.
even that didn't seem correct to me.
Mhm.
So we use butter paper. It's
Okay.
layered with some oil layer so that it preserves. It's not the same as plastic, but people appreciate it.
Mhm.
So it's basically butter paper as a pouch, and then all the other thing is all natural only. It's paper and
Okay.
carton. And the packaging has been developed by a friend, a
Okay. Okay.
French designer. He's a professional, but is a friend of me. He did the design of the boxes.
So you know what, like, so you came with the name, Prema Nature was something that you and that
So
Nepali friend of yours thought, right?
exactly
Then
what
when
do
you
you mean
have the
about the
variants, right?
branding?
So you have like, Eco Bliss or something names that you know. So the entire portfolio will have different products, will have different names, right? So who did that brainstorming for you? Did you do it on your own or with that French friend of yours? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did on my own. All the thing,
Okay.
I did a website, then I did another website, then we did a European I did all the development, all the websites, all the photos,
Okay.
everything. Now that we are growing, I try to outsource
So
things, finding people who are really good at it. It's a slow process, but actually, I did it in the beginning at least. I did that. Yeah, yeah,
other than your own website,
yeah.
like I got to know of you through Scenting Secrets, like, so how did you go about marketing your product?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a clear-cut thing. It's not that I woke up one day with the idea and then it
Right,
all
right.
worked out. It's a thing like you try something, sometimes it works out,
Mhm.
sometimes it doesn't work out. So for me, what I
Right,
felt like local market is not really suitable, for
right,
sure. People don't get the idea of natural incense in a local place. The big cities, it's working out. But then you have
right.
logistic problem. You need sales teams and all. So we go focus more on online sales,
Yeah,
which makes more sense for us. And then you have the foreign market. It's a no-brainer.
right.
People love it. Almost everybody loves it. So it's just a matter of scaling it there.
Yeah,
To
but
my
now it's picking
understanding,
up.
it will
It's picking
also
up.
happen in India. I think it's a slower process. People are used to
Right,
chemical.
right.
I think it will pick up. I just need to be very patient and don't give up, basically, in India. But I thought about not releasing anything in India,
Yeah,
but then I felt like it's not fair, because
I know,
we are
seriously.
making it here,
Yeah,
and the people here
right.
also deserve good quality natural stuff. Why they only need, I mean, they,
To use, and like I remember once you've
yeah,
written a blog about coal, and you said, people say that coal is not good, and then you said coal is the cleanest source of energy when it comes to using something which is like flammable in an incense. So just tell me the basic kind of raw materials that you use, and how do you choose the kind of things that you want to use in an incense?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so like I said, I did lots of research and all, and I tried without coal. I tried charcoal-free incense and all, but for me, the essential oil
Mm-hmm.
didn't come through really. It's mixed with wood dust powder. It has a more mild type of woody smell, and you don't get a clear punch of the essential oil. That's why I always, when I checked with charcoal or without, always charcoal one. And then I saw many brands, yeah, for
Right.
smell using essential oils.
Smoke, huh?
Charcoal really give the punch
Right,
because it's a
right.
clean burn. Actually, when you burn charcoal, it doesn't give a smell really. So it doesn't interrupt
Yeah, yeah.
in that way. And then I saw when we launched, I saw many brands, they say charcoal free, charcoal free. I thought, what's about this thing? I checked all science databases, Google, nowhere a study about charcoal negative effects. So then I talked to people in the industry and they even agreed. They said, yeah, it's a marketing trick. You
Okay.
have cycle, always have the black stick, so we have to be different. So we say it's charcoal free. And then some brands they link it. Charcoal free means
Okay.
sulfur free means nitrogen free. But there's no relation between charcoal and
Ah, right,
sulfur.
right. Yeah.
It's just that some brands add some burning enhancers, like potassium nitrate. That's yeah, that's nothing to do with
Right.
charcoal. But yeah, surely burning like potassium nitrate, it's not so good for your health. But it does
Hmm.
have no relation with charcoal. And then I
Right.
wanted to educate the people about this because, who's going to research? They just follow the crowd, they follow the advertisement. Um, that's why I
Right.
wanted to tell people, look, charcoal is used in toothpaste. It's used in your water filter. They use
Right. Right.
charcoal. Even if you have a poison, you take a poison, there are activated charcoal tablets to absorb the poison. So if charcoal would be bad, then it does make really sense.
Language is. How did you, I mean, in the first, when you started to think of doing it commercially, how did you go about getting all these women to work for you? And how did you go about making your whole team? Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, locally you have abundance of workforce because the
Yeah.
majority of ladies, they are housewives. Then if they want to go for a work, for them it's important, it's safe, it's nearby, and it's a good work, like not too hard, in a good atmosphere. So for me, getting women or local workforce, it's no problem. But the thing is that to get more intellectual workforce in an incense company, that's maybe a little more difficult. But locally, to get women, it's not difficult at all. So I started with one girl who helped me, and then another, I think one more came, and then another 4 or 5,
Okay. So they
and then
all just
another
trickle
10.
down, right?
So
In
now we
your
are
thing.
around totally with the office people, it's around 25. So it's growing little by little. I have to always say, yo, sorry, I don't have work.
Okay,
Maybe come
okay.
next month. I keep them on a list until I have enough orders to give them work. It's going like that. Yeah.
What is the, do you say the response that, Indian market versus international market, what has it that been like? Okay,
For me, it's more difficult to convince the Indian customer
okay.
to buy our product because of the competition and also the fact that it's natural. People, it's like I compare it with spicy food. If you always eat spicy food and then you eat
Yeah,
food with less spice made by a 5-star chef cook, you won't really appreciate it. There's something lacking. And
yeah.
it's because you get used to this spice, and it takes time to build down that punch. You want that punch in your nose, which is not there with the Prema Nature incense. But people who never were habituated to that, they immediately appreciate it. So for me, it's easier to tell people in Europe or US to tell like this is really natural. It's based on essential
Yeah,
oils. It has tirtam. It's good for the
yeah.
vibration, and they like the mild smell, not in your face. They don't get headache, they don't get allergy. So it's easy. It's easier. But like as I said, in the big cities, there are people starting to have interest. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I did that also at a certain phase was there that I wanted
Okay,
to try it locally, but it's very cost intensive. You have to
right.
build out a sales team,
Yeah. That's there.
and salaries are high,
Hmm.
and it's all
Aha,
credit
aha.
based.
Yes.
So shops, they don't pay immediately. You have to go back 1 month later,
Yeah,
then the manager
I
is not
know.
there. Again, you have to go back.
Seriously, yeah, that's
So
true.
as a startup,
Right.
it's brutal
So,
actually. It's
do you
brutal.
also donate incenses or do you give it to your own workers at some kind of discounted rate or something? Do you have something like that?
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I almost give it at cost price for them. And they really use it also. They get used to it,
So, you
especially
are in this
certain
ashram,
fragrances
right?
like
So,
rose.
do you
Rose, they
also give it
love.
to the ashram?
They love a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
I give it to
Right.
local temples. I give it to local, like not the incense, the sambrani, like the dupe. We are
Okay.
making that one. So that's a herbal dupe. We use up to 12
Okay.
ingredients per
Okay.
variant.
Now,
And
tell me
that is
something
used
about the
also
storage of
vibhuti,
the raw materials
kumkum,
and the finished goods and how do
sambrani
you
powder,
store it?
stuff like
The
that.
raw materials and the finished goods?
Yeah. Yeah, when any raw material comes inside, it
Okay.
goes through a quality check procedure. After that, we enter it into the software and it gets a batch
Okay.
number. And then when we store it, depending on the type, we have for the oils, we have a separate storage room. And then the oils which are under Ecocert, they are separately stored. And all the powders are in another place. And then we have, yeah, then we make the product and it's written on,
Okay.
we have a sheet where we write the batch numbers of the raw materials, and then you have the batch number of the product. So it's linked together. And then once the product is packed and all, we have a room, a clean room, let's say, because that's another thing, you work with rural women, the hygienic aspect is not always understood as well. So clean hands, clean floor, everything should be clean. Yeah, I'm daily. Now it's better, but it was a real point. I'm telling them,
And there's a weighing machine in the kitchen, and also like, what is all this? So yeah, that is different, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Exactly, true.
exactly. That's also important for me. And also, if you export, it should be
Mm-hmm.
up to the mark. So then storage,
Right. So
I'm
do you have
taking
this
care,
problem
like
of
if it's done,
probably
immediately
rodents
we put
or
it in the
some kind of
carton,
fire hazard or
we
something
close the
also?
cartons,
Do
and
you have
then
to
it
keep that
goes
in
to another
mind?
place for storage.
Okay, okay. So, and what is the, probably total, how much do
No,
you
no, no. That
manufacture in a
that's
month?
luckily I
If you have
don't
to
have.
ask something like that,
Not
how do you?
yet. Yeah. In a month,
Okay,
like as I
okay,
said, we have not yet a regularity as such. I'm expanding it, so I'm
okay.
scaling all the time and then
Uh-huh.
trying to, when I have a big order and then there's a gap without order, I have to keep the people somehow. In a year, I don't know how much exactly. I can't tell you exactly, but
What are the
yeah.
other products besides the incense that you have in your portfolio? Hmm.
So we have then the spiritual type of products,
Ghee wicks, you have
Vibhuti
those
Kumkum,
Panchagavya diya, that is
ghee
different. And
wicks,
the ghee wicks you have something
sambrani
separate.
powder, and something else.
Okay.
Panchakarma. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So ghee wicks,
I
it's
know.
very easy for people. They don't need to
Right,
put
right.
oil and put a wick and or the
Do you have
small
that?
piece
Do
of
you have some of
thread.
your products to
We
show
have the
us?
whole thing. You put it in the lamp and you light it. That's all. And it's ghee based. So it's easy
Okay.
to use.
Ha ha. Right, right.
Actually, I
Okay.
have the incense box. See, this is the incense box.
Ha.
Yeah. And this is
Okay.
the sambrani. This is what started it. So I first developed this. Yeah. So these are the spiritual
Hmm.
products. And then I wanted to do something more in my field, like
Okay.
a
Yeah.
cosmetics type of pharmacy stuff. So we made insect repeller
Ha
or
ha.
mosquito spray. And then aloe vera, we have actually a big
Okay.
land full
Okay.
of aloe vera. So it's all organic.
Right.
I didn't register it as organic yet, but it's organic because there's not. And so we made gel with that. It's
I think, do you have a rose
really good
water
gel.
also?
And other than that, what is that? That's about it, I think.
Okay.
Rose water,
And
it's gummy. It's
do
easy
you
for
have
me
something like,
to
I think,
make,
cow urine
but I
products
just
also?
didn't put it on the
The
website.
distilled cow urine or
We are
something?
going to make like rose.
No. Okay. Apachikavya lamps are there. Right, right. So how big is your yeah. So how big is your entire workspace, so office and wherever people sit and manufacture the things? Oh. So including the office and the
It's
storage space and
about
wherever
3,000
women
square
sit to
feet,
work, right?
approximately. Now, yeah, approximately.
Okay. So, okay, now let's ask. I wanted to know something about the pricing. So, when you price a product, what exactly what is the strategy behind pricing an incense?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's totally
Ah,
cost-based
okay.
pricing. I made a mistake in the beginning
Okay.
because I was not aware about the margins. But in
Okay.
shops, like incense has a very big margin. Usually they ask 50% margin usually. So if you sell it for 100,
Okay.
that means the shopkeeper buys it for 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So margins are very high. I think it's probably because of the big players like Cycle, Mangaldeep. It's chemical based, so it's for them
Right, right, right.
it doesn't cost much at all. So they can really they even have their own chemical plants, their own printing
Okay.
press. If you are competing with that cost base, I don't think anybody can win. So you have to bring something else to the table.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's like this. So we have our margin, which is less than
Mhm.
50% because otherwise it won't work. Maybe
Okay.
10% or something like that. And then you have the another 50% for the shop. Or
So,
if you have a
have you thought of
distributor,
making
there will be a
soaps also?
10% for him.
Some incense brands do
That's
have
how we
soaps
do.
also, soaps and candles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm working actually on another project with my father. It's more luxurious lifestyle products. It's called White Duck, and we are going to Mumbai next month for a gifting expo, and we'll be releasing the product somewhere in September. So that's high quality soaps, reed diffusers, and candles. Yeah, yeah, India, exactly. And also export we will do.
The craft shows that we have, probably trade fair or
The
something like
local
that.
affairs, you mean? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I participated in the Incense Media Expo last year in Hyderabad, and then this year we went to
Where was
the
this?
EPCH Export
Okay. Okay.
Fair. It's the biggest handicraft export fair in India, I think, for exports. It's
And
in
this happens
Delhi
every year.
twice a year.
And
So
how
for
do you
me,
get to know
it's
about
really a
it?
good platform because of
How do
the
you register
exposure to the
yourself and
foreign
stuff?
markets. Yeah, for handicraft,
Okay.
how
Okay.
because as an exporter, for instance, you need to be member of the
Okay. EPCH.
EPCH
Okay.
group. It's the Export Promotion Council for Handicrafts.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to be a member, and then you get newsletters through email and post, and yeah, it's like that.
You share with me one of those newsletters if you have. I really would like to see it. Okay. Okay. Now I'm really interested in knowing what is a day in an incense maker's, a brand owner kind of a thing, in a day in your life. What is it like? Okay.
Day. A day in my life, it's like if I usually prefer to get to start early.
Mm-hmm.
So if I start at 7
Okay.
at peace and I go through all the things which are pending, and then around
Yeah, yeah.
8:30 I go to the office. And at the office it's usually like freestyling basically because I'm training people. Yeah, but it's quite hectic. In the office, it's full on like that. All the time, problems, question, lots of things. Maybe 5 problems per day. A production problem. Yeah. Computer broke, machine blocked, the instance is not coming out. Why?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So,
But I enjoy it actually. And also training people, you see the
okay.
growth. You see the growth, so it's nice. And
Okay.
we are working together with some foreign universities.
Okay.
So they send interns to us. So now we have a girl of France. She'll be with us
Mm-hmm.
for 3 months. And these are all young people who like the
Okay. Okay.
sustainability aspect of
Okay.
the project, the
So,
natural
if
aspect
I
of the
have to talk
project.
about a day in the life of a worker in your incense industry, what is it like? So what time does she come and what all does she do and what time she leaves? Something like that? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so they come between 8:30
Okay.
and 9, and they leave between 4:30 and 5. We give also free food. A lunch break is
Okay.
around 45 minutes, and then they have tea in the morning. We have a staff meeting every week on Saturday.
Okay.
Then I buy vades, and then if there are complaints or ideas, we listen to them.
Okay.
And so they come in the morning. Then we have the thing planned out before the
Okay.
production schedule. So
Okay.
it depends on the day. Sometimes they roll incense, sometimes they make dupes, sometimes they
Okay.
make lamps or aloe vera, depending on that. And what else? We have yoga also for half an hour once a week. And we go with the
Okay.
staff. Actually, yeah, yes. We have also a puja
Mm-hmm.
around 9, little bit after 9. We have a small puja for all types of gods, and we say Stotram, and then everybody goes. It's really nice to start the day with that. Exactly. I forgot. Yeah, we are using. So that is also from local ashrams with the cows. It's very easy to
So
source
what
here.
do you have some kind of challenge if we talk of weather or climate? So does it get humid and then it's difficult to work with the machine or some raw material something? What are the challenges that are there in manufacturing as such? Ah,
Yeah, yeah. So humidity is a big problem, of course, because incense is to make it, it should be wet, and then to sell it, it should be dry. So otherwise, it doesn't burn. So that step of drying, and if it's raining a lot,
right, right.
it's sometimes an issue. And also, if you dry it too quickly, it will break, it will crack. So that Yeah, I mean, that's not so difficult. I mean, but if rainy day is there, sometimes we have
Okay.
to stop production. I know there are brands and companies that have drying machines and all. I don't have that
Yeah.
yet, but I can
Okay, fine.
imagine if the production
Okay, so
increases, you
when you're
need to
hiring somebody
control
for the
the
work,
drying part
so
more.
what is it
So
that
then
you
we have
look
to
for
maybe,
in that person?
yeah, beautiful eyes and a great smile. No, no. Other than that, no, no. Like the main thing for
Okay.
me, it's they should love the work.
Okay.
So I just ask them to come and be with us for a few hours. And usually I ask them to start rolling incense also. Because you see, this
Okay.
rolling incense is something not everybody
Poor thing.
manages to do. I had a girl here, she was with us for more than a month, and it just didn't go. And then I saw it's a skill.
True.
Some people just cannot do it. So
Yeah.
that's why you always lose time training somebody, but people
Right,
who just
right,
don't have it, it's not worth training them. But yeah,
right.
it's maybe 50-50. So it's good if they know how to roll
Okay.
because then they are more usable, let's say. But I do have a few
Okay.
ladies also, they only are good in
Okay.
packing and they had a difficult family situation.
Mm-hmm.
So then we just kept them, yeah. It's always the economical thing and then the
Yeah.
the humane thing. But with us, surely it's a lot of the humane and less of the economic. But still, it's a factor. You cannot just ignore it also.
Manufacturing, the branding, and all those things. Do
Yeah.
you have some extracurricular activities, probably, or a get together or some kind of a small party or something? Do you keep having something like that to keep the workforce in a motivated state of mind?
Yeah, yeah. Like for
Yeah.
me, because I'm a foreigner, it already motivates them a lot.
They know that they're in good hands,
And also,
right?
I'm not, it's just like special, I guess, for them to work. Yeah,
Right,
like
right.
this. And also, I'm not into
Yeah.
really making a career or earning big money, because if that was the case, I would have stayed in Europe and go into the pharmacy business. So that's already a big factor. And I feel they have a big respect just how I
Mhm.
am here and just because of my behavior. So I'm very aware that I always have to do the correct thing, and I'm really supportive of them. All this thing is there. So that is a big motivator already. And then we
Yeah, of
go
course I know.
maybe a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
times per year, we make a trip.
Yeah.
Like last time we went to Tanjavur. I don't know if you know
How
Tanjavur.
cute, that's nice.
You know,
Yeah.
okay.
So the
So we went to the
entire team
Shiva
had
temple
gone.
there, and then we went for a lunch and all.
So the women don't have problems. So the,
So
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
the people in the family
yes.
also know that they're
You
going
have to
out and
do that.
they're okay with it, right?
Yeah, entire team, exactly. Yeah, but like I didn't know, but then later they told me
Yeah, I know.
they never go anywhere. It's like a big thing for
Yeah,
them to
yeah,
go as a
seriously.
group with
Yeah,
their
it's so
friends
nice, no?
somewhere.
And
In
so
Europe, it's normal, but
do you
it
also
was
have the
for
culture
them,
of,
it was
probably giving
really
gifts for some
special.
occasion? Like for here in North, we have this Diwali gift, and do you
But
have
the
something like
husband
that?
agrees.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you have a thing called Aida Puja or
Okay, on
Saraswati
Navami.
Puja.
Right.
It's the day before not the last day of
Ninth day.
Navaratri,
Yeah,
but
ninth day
day
of the,
before the
yeah.
last day. That yeah, yeah, probably some name, different names and different
Okay.
the 9 day, and then they
So
blast all the
sweet. Nice,
tools
no?
with
Yeah.
arati,
You
and then
make me
that
feel like
time
coming to your
also
ashram and working for
we
you.
give gifts to the employees, and also Diwali actually.
All the incense
Yeah, sure.
sound, I mean, it looks so fascinating, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
I mean, you can
But
come,
if
you
I ever
know.
come to Chennai, I'm definitely coming and spending a day there, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I had the idea to. Yeah, you're welcome. You should. I actually want to teach some people like workshops or something for children.
People in the south would be more, it'll be easy for them to travel to Chennai and then, do that. Or if it is an online thing, then so many of us can do it online also, So you should plan both, okay? Online and offline for people like me also, right? Okay. And we'd be really interested in, having this training or a course, where from A to Z of incense. So if I have
Okay.
to start formulating and then branding, packaging, marketing, the thing, so all that thing, whatever your the thing that you have shared with us here. Yeah, so that would be a good one. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's in my head. Will
Yeah,
do.
yeah, you start thinking about it. I've given
Okay.
you some food
I
for
mean,
thought.
at some point it will come. It
Yes,
just,
yes, yes,
I
of
need
course,
to
I'd
have
be
the
so
time.
interested in
Yeah.
it. I'd love to do that. Yeah, yeah.
We'll do it
Yeah.
together,
Okay, now
Dolly.
tell me something. I want to know, do you have,
Okay?
a word of advice, or like,
Okay, I'll
if
remember.
somebody wants to get into this industry, somebody who wants to start making their own incenses and selling them, it could be clean, it could be commercial, anything. Do you have words of advice for them, something insight, something to share with them?
I feel like it's a cliche, but you should love it because if you're going to develop something, it takes time. You need patience. It's not going to happen overnight. So you better love making something, creating a product. And then if you go for, you have to be,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, do some market research before, because then you have an idea of what is going well, what is not going well. Because finally,
Yeah.
if you make it with the idea of selling it, it's better, it
Mm-hmm.
works better, there's a demand for it. Not only that you like it. Most people, they start out and they make something they like and then they try to sell it. But I mean, it's better you have just an eye on the market also. That's my advice. Yeah. Yeah.
The procurement and storage of raw materials and the hiring of people for the workforce, all those things have to be kept in mind.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Exactly.
So, what are the government, licenses or things that you had to
Mm.
take before starting a
Yeah.
commercial?
Yeah. 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 Definitely.
The Ayurvedic branch of government, right?
For us,
The Ayurvedic,
Ayush, it's
Unani, and something, it's the health sector of the government, right? The natural alternative health medicines.
wait,
MSME, okay, MSMEs. Yeah,
or maybe I'm not, maybe I'm
okay.
mistaken. It's called
Ayush is
micro
different. Ayush is different
MSME,
and MSME is different.
MSME.
MSME is for
Yeah,
small and medium-sized business
that one.
entrepreneurs.
That's
And
Ayush,
Ayush
I
is
think,
for the
or I'm
alternative medicines.
mistaken, but it's MSME. Ayush,
Right.
right, right. That's yeah, yeah, that's different. So
Okay.
no, that's not needed. So yeah, you need
Okay.
a company of some kind. You can do a
Yeah.
partnership, a proprietorship. We have now private limited. Then you need, of
Limited.
course,
Yeah, you cannot send it out of
GST. I
state.
would
Even if the turnover
recommend
is not
because
as much, you have to have if
finally,
you want to send it
if you
in the
don't have
state.
GST,
Right.
you are very limited to do any type of business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah, and Amazon, for example, needs GST.
Mm-hmm.
So better you start with GST also. And
Right.
then for exports,
Right.
as I said, you need import-export code. You
Okay.
need AD code. It's from the bank. And then you need to register in a portal called IceGate. And you need this EPCH membership. Yeah,
Whole
that's
process,
about it.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is if you really are
Okay.
committed to natural. I don't know in India, but in Europe for sure it's needed. People
Okay. Okay.
don't trust you. Shops that sell organic, they want the label on the box, or you cannot enter the shop. So definitely
Okay.
you need the
Okay.
Ecocert, and then you have to pay for how many products. They have all this pricing. Yeah, you have to pay, and it's
And so is the
quite a
payment
hard
one time or is
process,
it like an
but
annual fee that you have to
it's
give
worth
every
it. If you
annual
are committed, it's
per
worth it.
product?
Yeah,
Okay.
annually. Yeah, they per product. So
Okay.
they come once a year for an audit, and then you have online portal. You have to update. There are checks regarding raw materials, quality checks, and
And did you have to go for any loan or is there any loan for you get loans
it's
through MSME only,
pre-scheduled.
right? So did you have to apply for some loan
Pre-scheduled,
or did
yeah.
you just manage it on your own? Okay.
I luckily didn't have
MSME
to go
gives, I
for a
guess, Mudra
loan.
loans are there
Yeah,
and
I don't
loans
know. I
for,
probably will
especially
get
if
some
women
loans
want to get
because I
into it for
heard
women,
government
it's
is
easier and
really
something like that. Yeah.
incentivizing.
Right. So those things are there. Okay. So,
How
okay,
much?
now lastly, tell us where all can we find you on the social media
Okay,
and yeah, tell
yeah,
us something about that. Your social media presence. Okay.
yeah. So we have the website. You can find lots of information there. And
Okay.
then you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Daily updates, I mean,
Okay.
daily stories we are posting.
Right, right,
Or every 2 days posts are there
right, right.
about life
And all
behind the
of this is with the
scenes,
same name, Prema Nature,
information
right?
about the products. So you see, we are real,
Okay.
we are real.
Okay. Okay. I'll be putting the links in the description box so people can go
Yeah,
and check out your
Prema.nature.
websites and
If you go on
wherever your
Instagram, it's
social media.
Prema.nature.
So I
You can
think
find
thank you
us.
so much, David, for giving us so much of time. It was lovely talking to you. We really got a lot of insight into the the incense
Thank you.
manufacturing sector that we have. And I think people who are
Yeah,
ready to go get into the incense manufacturing sector, this is going to be a gold thing for all of them. So I'm really
Thank
thankful to
you.
you. You took out time and you came and you spoke to us. Thank you so much, David.
Mhm. Thank you. I hope to give more value to incense in my way through making it natural and all this thing. Thank you.
We might just want to reach out to you again. Till then, I'll be waiting for that training thing that you said. It has to be both online and offline, okay? And we'll be promoting it. You promote it on your website, I'll also promote on mine, okay? So you send it and send me the document.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all for the episode, guys. I'll be seeing you in the next episode. And this is Dolly Cha here, and I thank you so much for watching this episode. Till we meet again next, take very good care of yourself. Namaste. Thank you for joining us on this fragrant journey. I hope David's story inspires you to pause, breathe, and choose your incense with intention. If you'd like to explore Prema Nature's beautiful offerings, check the show notes for links. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who loves incense or soulful living. Until next time, light a stick, take a breath, just thank you.
இந்த தொழில் பல ஜெனரேஷனா செஞ்சுட்டு வரோம். இது எங்கள் மண்ணோடும் முன்னோர்களும் இணைக்கிறது.
Prema Nature Incense is made using the purest natural ingredients, along with tirtan or sanctified water. This sacred water infuses our unique handmade incense with spiritual purity and blessings. Everything is mixed by hand and with care. At Prema Nature, we believe in the power of love and nature. In the heart of rural India, the art of handmade traditional products comes to life. Pure and natural, just as it was meant to be. Experience the heart and soul of our handmade products. Every stick of our incense tells a story of love, purity, and community. Join us in making a difference, one fragrant stick at a time.
Our mission is to create pure and natural products, but also to support local communities. So by buying our products, you also support an ethical and sustainable way of life. Thank you.